What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Monsterarts Godzilla 1972. And for those of you who don't know what movie this is from, I'll put a couple pictures on screen to tell you right now. But basically, it's the movie where Godzilla teams up with Jet Jaguar to fight Gigan and Megalon, and Godzilla does some ridiculous stuff in the movie. He has gravity-defying dropkicks with his tail for some reason. In addition to that, this is also where Godzilla actually is like breaking the fourth wall and giving a thumbs up to the camera. Like, it was an absolutely ridiculous movie, but I love it because of how ridiculous it was. Like, it holds a special place in my heart, which is why I'm so excited for the Jet Jaguar figure to release later this year. And you guys can definitely bet you'll see a review from me on that. But taking a look at the box for Godzilla here, you can see the very nice Monsterarts Godzilla text there. You have all of these official Godzilla logos right here as well. I believe this is 70 for 70 years, which is awesome. You do have obviously some nice artwork, or well, the product shots of Godzilla here himself with the Bandai Namco logo up here at the top right there. As you can see, you got that Bandai Namco logo, got some more Godzilla text. I believe this is Godzilla, I believe, in Japanese kanji, on not up and down, but left to right, in the western side of things. Tamashii Nations, Bandai. Some more nice cool stuff here. You do have like the nice claw marks here from Godzilla. You obviously have the nice Monsterarts Godzilla 1972. Turning around here on the other side, you have some more product shots of Godzilla here, 1972, with the name again. And once again, we do have our official and wide range of obligatory product shots for Mr. Godzilla here. You can see the very cool stuff, obviously, from the movie as well. So overall, really, really awesome stuff. And I'm praying, guys, I am praying that they make a Megalon. Like, I'm just waiting for them to reveal it. I've been waiting for that for such a long time. I really hope they do it. But I think that's really about it for the box. And so, without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the Monsterarts Godzilla 1972 out of the box, and I gotta say, this guy looks like he was just kind of ripped off the screen. This is probably, in my opinion, the best Godzilla that they've done as of the recent Godzillas that they've released, because we've been seeing re-releases basically for the most part, but again, I think out of all of the ones that I've been wanting to see them do, to my knowledge, I believe this figure hasn't been made before. I might be wrong on that, but maybe it is sort of a re-release of it. But regardless, I think that out of the Godzilla releases that we've had as of late, this is by far, in my opinion, the best one, and it looks really good. So again, like I said, it looks like he jumped right off the screen. Taking a look at the details here, you can take a look and look at the head here. It's really, really awesome. You do have the articulated jaw there, but you have the nice, very, very prominent eyeballs there. Really nice sculpt, really nice paint here as well. You do have starting of the spikes there for his spines on his back. Got some more nice molded in details here across the board. I mean, you can see some very, very nice stuff there. More nice molded detail coming down here. Taking a look at the spines, I think they look really good in and of themselves. I have really no issues with them. The nice silver as well. Again, overall, I mean, taking a look at this guy full 3, you have the nice claws as well. You see the hands. The hands also look very, very nice. I don't really see any issues with that. Even the paint in the jaw, I didn't point that out. The paint in the jaw and the teeth and everything like that. You even have, I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry, I slammed the camera. But he does have, it's really hard to see, but you can see a little bit of a tongue there, which is really, really cool. You do have that. Overall, taking a look at the feet even, you do have the nice claws here as well. Like, I have really no complaints with how this guy actually looks when it comes to, the aesthetic piece of this guy. I think he looks absolutely fantastic across the board, and that is really, really cool to see when it comes to this Godzilla, because this is one of Godzilla's most iconic movies because of the ridiculous stuff that happens in the movie. So I really hope that they went forth through to actually make this figure as accurate as possible, and I think that they absolutely nailed it. And so, without further ado, we're actually going to do some size comparisons. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to set him off to the side here. Alrighty, folks, and the only major comparison we're actually going to do here is with Gigan, obviously from 1972 as well. I'm going to actually fix Gigan a little bit here, but as you can tell, these two scale together perfectly fine. They were basically about the same height in the movie, obviously fighting against one another, and I think that they look great together. Again, we got Jet Jaguar on the way, guys. We're just waiting for Megalon, and we can have the entire cast. And so I would love, well, the majority of the cast. I believe King Ghidorah shows up in that movie as well. But you guys get the idea. I would, and Gearus, actually, we're waiting for that guy too. But regardless, you would see that cast from that very famous fight in the movie, and I really hope that we do get a Megalon next, because, man, it would be really good to see one. But these two look great together regardless. Alrighty, getting into it are the accessories, and this time I actually am not joking. He does come with just one accessory, but it is a cool accessory nonetheless, and it is an alternative head, and it's very cool to and very easy to remove it. I'll show you guys here in a second, but taking a look at the alternate head, the major difference is that Godzilla basically has blood. He has a big wound there. You can see the difference in the right there on the nose and the bridge of the nose, towards the forehead. You can see that little marking, so I'll bring the actual head so you can see the differences there. Like that. Right, you can see the differences with the that part. Now, it's not the best accessory. What I would have loved for this guy for an accessory is I would have loved a thumbs up, like a thumbs up like this, because there's a scene in the movie when they've finally really taken down Gigan and Megalon, where Godzilla shakes Jet Jaguar's hand and then he gives a thumbs up to the camera. I would have loved something like that, because this was a goofy movie and I would have loved a goofy accessory, but alas they didn't do it. But I'm not mad, because I do really like the fact that they added an extra head. And so to actually go and change that, all you got to do, rip that off, and it's just very easy. You got a ball joint there, so you can see the ball joint there. You have the ball joint hole in there, and then all you got to do is plug that in. Probably the easiest accessory change of any SH Monsterarts Godzilla, besides maybe hands and other limbs and stuff. Honestly, the easiest one I've seen. And the paint is just as good on this as well. You can see the very nice paint here for the mouth and everything like that. The teeth are all nice. You can see the tongue is also still present in there. And you do have the nice eyeballs. Again, very well done. I have no issues, honestly, with my copy of this figure. I don't know if other people are having issues. I haven't watched too many reviews from other YouTubers on this. But from what I can tell, my copy is actually pretty flawless. I have absolutely really no major issues with looseness or anything like that. This is just really solid all around, and I'm very happy. And I hope that Bandai keeps this train going. And so, to end off the really taking a look at this guy overall, let's take a look at the articulation, which, at the end of the day, it's not the best, but it's not awful by any means. It's pretty standard articulation for any major, Godzilla figure, we've seen from Bandai these days. So, the head is on the ball joint, so you can get a full 360, which you actually can't get on other Godzilla figures, but you do have, you can get the ball joint here, so you can look down, you can look up, like I said, the side to side. You do have the separate neck joints. Even though they don't do too much, you still have some decent movement there. You do have some arms in the full 360. You do have, whoops, that wasn't, ooh, that was my bad there. The elbow doesn't bend all that much, maybe very little. The wrists are on ball joints as well, so you can get, full 360 here, something like that, right? So you can get that stuff. At the end of the day, that is pretty cool as well. You do have a little bit of an ab crunch, nothing crazy. You can get the sway side to side. For the legs, you can kick forward. You can kick back actually really far. And then you can also get a decent bend at the knee. And then you do have the ball joint in the ankle as well. And then the tail is your standard SH Monsterarts tail, but at the end of the day, this is a really good tail. This is significantly better than, again, most of the recent Godzilla releases. This can bend really, really well, and this doesn't snap off unless you're really, really shoving and pushing it, but it's a really, really good tail, because that means you can actually get, with the stand, you can very feasibly get the, iconic scene of Godzilla's death-defying dropkicks. So, once we get Megalon, you guys can be, and Jet Jaguar, you can be damn sure I'll be recreating that for the photo section. And I think the wrist kind of came off there, so give me 1 second, folks. I don't think this is too bad at all, though. Alrighty, guys. I don't know how to say this, and I know I was just praising the figure, but my hand just broke. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it genuinely just snapped off. This one twists just fine, but I don't want to twist it risking that, but it legitimately just broke off. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me see if I can zoom in on that. Look at that. It just snapped off. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to have to end up super gluing that back on. That's really sad, actually. Damn, this is a really good figure otherwise, too. I honestly don't know what to think right now personally, but yeah, my hand just snapped off. I'll end up super gluing that, but Yeah, I honestly don't know what to think. I'd love to hear your guys's, like, if you guys picked up the figure or anything like that. Like I told you, I haven't watched too many reviews on this, but the reviews I have watched have praised this figure relatively well. Not insane, but they praised it relatively well. That it's probably one of the best SH Monster Arts Godzilla releases we've gotten in a while. But yeah, that's a real shame. I don't know how I'm going to factor that into the score, but at the end of the day, yeah, I still think that the articulation is fantastic and everything like that. It's just, wow, that actually broke on me. It's the first SH Monster Arts figure I've had that's actually broken on me. I don't know if that, again, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. I'm sorry if I'm sort of flabbergasted, but I just pulled it off and I was like, oh, I'll just put it back on, and then lo and behold, no, I can't actually put it back on. Maybe I did something completely wrong. Maybe that wasn't supposed to twist, but I thought it was fine twisting because it was on two separate joints. Because you can see here, you know what? I'll show you here. This one twists just fine. Now maybe I'm twisting on the wrong joint, but like, yeah, I guess it just snapped off. I am completely flabbergasted by that, but again, it might have been something I did wrong. So if it is, then that's all my fault, and this figure is completely, like, it's good otherwise. I just made a complete mistake, and that's my fault. But otherwise, yeah, articulation is great. Alrighty, folks, so for my final and concluding thoughts on the SH Monster Arts Godzilla from 1972, one of the most iconic Godzilla films, I think it's a fantastic figure. I think it's really well done. Excuse me completely screwing up, like, the hand. That was a complete mistake on my part. I honestly, I'm honestly just flabbergasted. I'm kind of very, very embarrassed for myself. I am so sorry if that was my mistake or if it's a genuine QC thing. Again, I don't know. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say about the figure in the comments below, but I know that this might not sway you to pick up the figure, but at the end of the day, I do think it's really well done. The sculpt is fantastic. The details are really, really nice. In addition to that, I also think that the articulation is great, despite, you know, some limitations with maybe the elbows and stuff like that. I think for a Godzilla figure, it's really good, especially because you can really get the iconic tail gravity defying drop kick scene. You just need a stand to support the back. Other than that, because of the way that the tail bends, you can absolutely get that scene and recreate that, and I cannot wait for that to happen when we hopefully get Megalon at some point. But yeah, out of a 10, I gotta give it an 8, and I really hope that that doesn't dissuade you from picking that up. What happened to my wrist, because I think that was just user error. Honestly, if I'm going to say at the end of the day, I genuinely think it was just user error. It was my fault. At the end of the day, I'll just super glue this back on, and he probably won't be touched for a majority of the time anyway, so it's not a big deal. But it does suck. I'm not editing that out because I feel that you guys should see, you know, the mistakes, the vulnerabilities, or anything like that. That's a great way for me to show that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still flabbergasted by it. The other reason I'm taking another point off is because of the price. I do think at the end of the day, it could be a bit lower because he doesn't come with all that much. Sure, he does come with the extra head, which is really nice, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, that doesn't warrant maybe necessarily the price tag. I maybe think he could be $10, $20, maybe $30 if you want to push it that far cheaper. Other than that, though, really solid figure. So I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll leave a link in the description to that. Also, see if I can find links on Amazon as well. But again, guys, I want to reiterate, please don't let that dissuade you from picking that up. That, I think, again, is just user error. I know I've repeated that several times already, but I genuinely think it was just user error. So please, I definitely recommend you go pick this guy up, because I think it'll be a great figure, and I think it's a great figure to have alongside your Gigan, and eventually alongside Jet Jaguar and everything like that. So yeah, I think that's about it. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked down in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and to catch you all in the next review. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.